So in today's class, we will see how to create swing applet. I think in our previous class, we have seen how to create swing, uh, that is applications we have learned to create. Now we will see how applets can be created using swing. Fine. So earlier we have seen how to create normal applets. Normal applets in the sense those were not swing applets. That time we have used AWT components. So now let us see how swing applet can be created. As you all know that all swing components begin with J, alphabet J. So even applet, earlier we used to create normal applet. That time we used to import applet class. Now we will be importing, uh, J applet class. So JApplet class belongs to again, uh, actually JApplet is a derived class from applet class. So again, all the features of applet are available to JApplet as well. So let us see one example and then we will continue with learning all the small components of the swing components. Uh, and once we learn these properties and events of these swing components, and then we have some example programs on each. Let us see. So, swing-based applets are similar to AWT-based applets because, again, applet extends JApplet. So, applet class is a parent class of JApplet. That's why you can see that all the methods which are available for applet, same are available for JApplet also. Again, the lifestyle of JApplet remains the same. That is init, start, stop, and destroy methods are there in its life cycle. Okay, now let us directly go to the example. Here we have swing applet, which has two buttons on it, alpha and beta, and down there is one label. Same example we have seen in case of frame. Now we are going to see in case of applet. So the moment initially there will be a label will display a message called as press a button, and the moment any button is pressed, that appropriate message will be displayed on the label. So for creating this applet, since it is swing, we have to import javax.swing package. Then we also need to import AWT package, and because we are going to have event handling, we are going to even import event package. Now, since it is applet, we have to have this HTML code. But when we execute it on NetBeans, this is not required. So you can skip this. Now directly let us start with one class. That is my swing applet. It extends JApplet. Now if you recollect our normal applet creation with event handling, we used to extend applet and we used to implement action listener or whichever listener we want to. So as you all know, listeners are required for event handling. Here, we are not implementing those listener interfaces. Why is that? Can anyone guess the reason why we are not implementing listeners here? Even in our previous program, we had not implemented listeners. We had used another concept that was of anonymous inner
Adapter.
Yeah, anonymous inner class. Okay, we are not even using adapters here. We are using anonymous inner class. Clear? So, uh, let us see how. Public class my swing applet extends JApplet. As you all know that whenever we create applet, in the init method we initialize, but we declare these all components above init method. Why is that? Because we want all these components available even after init. What do we have after init? After init, we normally have our action perform method, which we need to write the statement that will get executed after the button is pressed. So when we want our components, swing components available even outside init, we have to declare them outside. Otherwise, once you declare them inside init, they will become local. That's why we declare them here, but initialization we do inside init. Now, so what all components we are using? We are using two buttons. Of course, both the declaration can be even in one line. That is J button. The name of the button itself, JBTN Alpha. It is a textbook program, so I've used the same names which are used in the textbook. JBTN Alpha, comma JBTN Beta. So both the components you could declare in one line. Even that is fine, or even if you declare it separately, that is also fine. Then we have one label by name JLAB, which we are declaring. We are creating instance of the class JLabel. Fine. So you can see here JJ alphabet is used here because these are swing components. Then for initializing, I'm using init. Inside init method directly, I'm not initializing. Again here, to make the code readable and easy, I have created one function called as make GUI. And I have done all that thing inside make GUI. So what all I am doing inside make GUI, let us see. So inside make GUI, first of all, I am setting the layout. As you all know, this layout is set inside the frame as well as inside the applet. But if you skip, by default, it will have border layout. So it is better we set the layout. So we are setting the layout to be new flow layout. Flow layout, as you all know, it will arrange the components one after the other. And when the row is filled, it will shift to the next row. So we are setting the layout like this, set layout, new flow layout. Then we are initializing buttons with the name alpha and beta. So JBTN alpha will display the text as alpha, and JBTN beta button will display the text as beta. So this initialization of these two buttons is over. After initialization is over, when we want these buttons to respond to the events, what is required? What is required for event handling when we want these buttons to handle the events or respond to the events?
Register.
Very good. Registering with the listener. So even though we have not implemented that listener interface, here directly or dynamically I can create instance of that particular interface. This is the concept of anonymous inner class. So how and where I'm instantiating that listener, see here. Normally we register with the listener using this method called as add action listener. So I'm registering with the listener, and inside bracket, I should pass the instance of that class which has implemented this action listener. So earlier, because our applet class would implement this listener, so we used to pass the instance of our applet class by saying this. So this is nothing but the invoking object or the instance of the current class. But now, since our class has not implemented the listener, so directly here, dynamically, we are creating one instance of the interface. But as you all know, the interfaces cannot be instantiated. So what we should do? Interfaces should be implemented by some class, and then uh, its instance can be created to override which abstract methods which are defined inside action listener. So anyways, this concept we have already discussed when I explained you anonymous inner class. So here, to instantiate the listener directly, I have created one anonymous inner class. Anonymous inner classes are created using the flower bracket. And what is the purpose of anonymous inner class? Their purpose is to just override the methods which are defined in the corresponding abstract classes or interfaces. Normally, anonymous inner classes are used along with interfaces. So here, inside this flower bracket or inside this anonymous inner class, I'm going to override the abstract method which is defined in action listener interface. Which is that method which is defined in action listener interface? Yes?
Action performed.
Action performed. So here I'm overriding action performed method, which takes the parameter of action event. Here I'm using LE. I can even say E. Okay. Because that is what is easier. And in the action performed, in the sense, this action performed belongs to our alpha button. So when this alpha button will be pressed, this action performed method will be called. Fine. So what are we going to do when the alpha button is pressed? I am going to display a label on that alpha, you can say, sorry, I am going to display a text in the label uh, alpha was pressed. So here I write that. Now remember, since we have dynamically created here anonymous inner class, while this J button alpha registers with the action listener. That's why this action performed exclusively belongs to only alpha button. So when we want to write event handler for beta button, again we'll have to repeat the procedure. So what we have done here, similar to that, we have done beta button. We are going to register it with the listener using add action listener. And here we are going to create instance of action listener, new action listener using anonymous inner class. Again here that anonymous inner class overrides the abstract method action performed. And here since this action performed belongs to beta button, I'm going to display the text as beta was pressed on the label. Fine. And as you can see here, as per the syntax, this anonymous inner class normally begins with flower bracket, ends with flower bracket. And here this initialization, new action listener, creation of instances not yet over there. We have just started with that new action listener. That bracket of add action listener will get closed here with semicolon. So that you should remember here as well as here on top and as well as here. Once the registration is over, those buttons still we have not placed on the applet body. So to place those buttons on the applet body, we make use of the methods add. So add alpha button as well as add beta button. Now we are done with the buttons. Now let us see label. Am I audible? Yes, am I audible? Yeah, because here it is displaying a message of internet disconnect, something, some disturbance. Okay, we have a label here. We are initializing a label with a message, press a button initially, and then we are adding the label. Since label is not going to respond to the event, we don't have to register it. And then I close. Now, what is this which I have closed here? That is the method called as make GUI. Now this function or method I have written called as make GUI. Now this method will be called inside the init. So here you can see here inside init method, I am going to call this make GUI. But I'm not going to call as it is because these are swing programs. As I told you, swing programs are recommended to be executed on a special thread called as event dispatching thread. How did you create event dispatching thread in case of frame? We used to call a method called as invoke later. That invoke later method belongs to the class called as swing utilities. Now, in case of applet, instead of invoke later, we call invoke and wait. Why do we call invoke and wait? because this applet window which will start running, that should wait till this entire process is over. That's why we call that thread as invoke and wait. In case of frame, where we create normal applications, as you all know, that you uses main method. So main method will always have its own main thread running. So that's why there we can say invoke later. But here in case of applet, we have to use invoke and wait. So invoke and wait, this method is used to create new event dispatching thread. Again, to create a thread, I am going to make use of runnable interface. Again, to create a instance of runnable interface, I am using the same concept of anonymous inner class. This anonymous inner class begins with flower bracket. It overrides the run method, abstract method, which is defined in runnable interface. And then here, uh, what I'm going to execute inside run, all the statements which are included in make GUI method. So this is how I close my anonymous inner class here. That is new runnable, and then I close. Now here this invoke and wait, it is checked exception. That means Java will compulsorily make you handle this exception using try and catch. It is mandatory because it is little risky. So that's why it is compulsory that when you use invoke and wait, you must use try. It should be used within try block. And as you all know, a try when you use, it must be followed by catch or finally. Normally we use catch to handle the exception. So I have caught the exception and I'm just displaying some message, can't create this applet because of this exception. You can display any message or even you can leave it blank. So this is how. And then after catch, I'm closing this uh, applet class bracket. So this is the example of creating swing applet. We are importing we are extending J applet class, remember. And then to register with the listeners, we are using anonymous inner classes. Fine. This is one program. In exam, so far, they have not directly asked to create a swing applet. Normally, they ask us to create explain swing components and their properties, but never know. They may ask anything. Yeah. Now, because the reference has come, now let me just tell you. I will pause the recording. So now we are going to learn these swing components one by one in detail. So first swing component, what we are going to learn is JLabel. JLabel is a simple component used for displaying text, images, or both. It does not react to input events. As you all know that label does not respond to the events. It is just used to display some text on the screen. But then with the advanced feature of this swing component, JLabel also displays images or both together, text as well as image. Now, how to create JLabel? The constructor is JLabel. As you all know that it uses a class JLabel to create. Normally labels are created along with some text message on them. So the very simple constructor what we use is string str. We pass some string message while creating label. Along with that, it is better I specify some examples as well. So I will just write example here. Later I will add it maybe in the next class. Okay, another constructor we have, label can be created by adding some image on it. And that image should be of the form icon. So you may say icon and image both look similar. But when we have to pass it through programs, through code, that time you remember that this particular image or icon, all of them have their own properties. So first of all, when we create image, it has to be converted into icon form, and then we can create a label from that. Or we can make a label, display that icon on the label. Then third constructor is along with string, along with icon. And then I can even specify the alignment. So there are three parameters what you have to pass while creating this third type of label. When you display the constructors, when you put the constructor, we have to also explain the parameters. So what do you mean by str here? Str is the text to be displayed, and icon is the icon used for the label display. Align specifies the horizontal alignment of the text or icon within the label. So one of the values can be passed left, right, center, or leading and trailing. Leading and trailing are same like left and right actually, but these are the additional values that can be passed. Fine. So where do you want that image to appear on the label? Whether it should be at the left side, right side, or in the middle, that you can specify with the alignment. What are the methods that are associated with the label? Normally, we hardly use methods along with the label because label is just used for static message display. So these methods will be least used, but still, let us see what are those. Get text is used to obtain the text or get the text from the label. Set text is used to set the specified text on the label. Get icon similarly obtains the icon, and set icon is used to set the specified icon on the label. Just to give you a hint, whenever they will ask you to explain the components, you have to remember that first of all, you have to explain the usage of that component. You have to try explaining how to create that by using one constructor, and then you have to explain one or two methods. And remember, most of the components have these two methods in common. One is get text and second is set text. Most of them I said. That some of them may be exception for that, but remember these are the two very easy methods which are associated with every component. And if you write for all the components also, I mean, it is a must that you will have to marks, it deserves marks. So that means it is not wrong if you write for every component, get text and set text. Fine. Anyway, so we'll stop here. In the next class, we'll continue from JText field. So all of you, please enter your attendance. And if you have any doubts, you can ask.